y'all? Welcome to the very first stream on Tsukuru design. We'll be diving into some live 3D modeling in Fusion 360, hanging out with some chill lo-fi vibes, and building a custom Pokemon-inspired lamp shell that I'll be printing on the old Bambu Labs P1S. So if you're into creative builds, behind the scenes process, or just want to relax and watch something cool come together, well, you're in the right place. So drop a message in chat if you're here and let's build together. Got some tea on over there. As soon as that starts boiling, I might step away to grab a mug. Let's dive in. Alright. Also, this being the first stream, if you're not getting good sound or you can't hear the lo-fi going on in the background, let me know. Alright, looks like I'm already getting a warning, so let's check it out. The stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended. Alright, well let me know if the quality isn't good, and we can hash that out too. Alright, here we go. So, the idea that I've been cooking on lately has been a Pokemon-inspired lamp shell. And so the idea here is, can we make a fun lamp that's inspired by one of the Pokemon, has a lot of those themes or kind of inspiration, and then make it come to life. So I'd actually did a project like this before. I don't know if you can see it right there, but it is a light bright lamp, and so that one I made a shell for a lamp, and that allowed me to then use the light bright tabs to make fun designs in like a modern way, right? Like a nostalgic throwback. So for this Pokemon inspired one, the one that I've been thinking about doing is Ivysaur. So taking the leaves and the bulb and then making the print really thin so that the light will shine through the 3D print. So let me start pulling this together. Actually, let's pull a photo of Ivysaur in here. I'm also realizing that I might not be able to chat with y'all because it says I wasn't signed in. So let me sign in real quick. Alright, chat is live. Thanks for bearing with me as I get set up here. We're learning. Alright, so first step is snagging one of these pictures of an Ivysaur. I kind of just like this one. Alright, so we'll snag one of those. I'm not using this for anything, so I'm not worried about stealing anyone's artwork. Okay, and then color-wise, these are the colors we're kind of looking at. I'm going to want to buy filament for each of these, so let's start building this out. So we got the bulb in the center. It's going to be a pinkish salmon color. We're going to have the leaves, that green color. And then for the body, we're going to have these two different shades of blue. So we'll call it body 1 and body 2. And what I'm going to do here to keep track, and so we can compare with different filament colors that we'll take a look at on Amazon. key is done, so give me 1 second while I grab it. Ooh, wait, let me grab the tea cover. I swear, these things, game changers. Mug covers, game changers. So put that on top. Tonight we're rocking Egyptian licorice mint. That is our tea of choice. All right, let's switch back. So right now we're picking our colors. So that's for the bulb. Do one for the leaves. One for the body. And then another for the body for those spots. All right. I'm curious what it sounds like for y'all. You getting that lo-fi coming through? Alright. Last night I was doing some sound testing. I don't know why I was getting a little bit of this echo, so I'm hoping that echo is gone. Alright, so those look like our 4 colors. So, always setting up your longest lead time item. I'm curious. Alright, I am going to pop over to Amazon here. I don't want y'all seeing my purchase history. So give me a second. And then we can start taking a look at the colors. So I've been using Polyterra. And we can take a look at, let's take a look at what we got. Alright, so these are all matte. We can do a shiny. I don't know, I kind of like the matte. I feel like this Ivysaur's got a matte color going on. Let's rock the matte. Let's rock the matte. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna split screen here. Let's see what we got. It's close. It's not quite exactly it, but it's pretty close. Matte Lotus Paint. It's the matte Lotus Pink or the matte Pastel Candy. Let's take a look at this hex code. I don't know. What do y'all think? Are we going this lighter pink or are we going a little bit this more vibrant pink? Panchroma. Is there a Panchroma set? I think both of them are. Let's take a look at that hex code. E77785. Can I select over here? That would be crazy. Yeah, I'll have to bring it in. Okay, so E777. I'm gonna write that down. Alright, let's take a look at some other Ivysaurs. Ivysaurs. Ooh. It's a toss-up. It's definitely a toss-up. We're gonna have to make a decision. See, that one looks like the light pink, like that pastel candy. It's matte lotus pink. Could rock that way too. See, that one looks way more subtle. That one looks way more red. Let's take a look at some other ones. Nah, definitely not that. That's too orange. You just call that red. Doesn't have a hex code. This one, I think it feels a little too light to me. All right. I think we're running that matte lotus pink. We're just gonna go for it. Okay. All right, so we got that one. Bioplastic. I've purchased this 7 times in different colors. It'd be really cool if it was a bioplastic. Better for the environment. Okay. So we're gonna add that to cart. All right. Ooh. Got that coupon. I'm gonna rock this down to like 17, 18 bucks. All right, sweet. Shows up tomorrow. Got to order within an hour and 49 minutes. Add to cart. All right, we got the pink. Let's do it. Leaves. I think the filter I got on this. Oh man, can you even hear the... Oh, there we go. Maybe you can hear a little bit of the lo-fi better now. Let's bump that up a little bit. Alright, that says it should be a little bit louder for y'all. Okay. Alright, on to the next color. Ooh, some pretty good ones. Marble limestone. What is that? No, I don't know. That's like a gray. Okay. Let's pull hex code for this. It's an AE, B, C, and D, oh no. We just lost camera. So my camera needs a minimum amount of battery. hopefully y'all can see me. I'm going to plug in this camera because it requires the streaming cam. Okay, I'm gonna swap it up real quick, gotta be agile. We're gonna plug in my webcam until this battery builds up a little bit more charge. Go. We're learning our lesson, y'all. This is what happens when I don't charge the camera beforehand. It doesn't receive enough USB power for it to just work while plugged in and streaming. So, changing on the fly, plugging in my webcam right now. Not going to be as good quality, but hey, I'm just a tiny box in the bottom. Alright, let me add this in real quick. Alright, here we go. We got the 920. And we're back. We're back. Nice. Alright. Rockin' and rollin'. Here we go. Alright, so on to the next color. We were here. This leaves was an A hex C6 Pantone colorway. It's not bad. Forest green. We can make it a little bit more. Oh, is that marble sandstone again? No, I'm not feeling that. I think this is going to be our really only green option. It's a little bright, I will say. Let's give it a go. Okay, so that's our next one. Add one of those to cart. They always want to get you with it. Subscribe. We got our green, we got our pink, now we just need our two blues. This dark blue's looking, ooh, maybe that one. Matte blue, that could be the spots, kind of like that for the spots. Okay, and then light blue, we either go, this one's looking, ooh, Arctic teal. It looks a little funny when you see it printed. Let's get some more colors. Some more ivy silver colors. So angry in this one. It's got a little bit more of a green to it now. I think that might be it. Might be this Arctic teal. Alright, we're gonna run with the Arctic teal. Add to cart. And then for dark, kind of like in this matte army blue. That or the matte blue. Let's see. It's hard to tell without being able to see the print. Too dark? I think it's too dark. I think this is too bright. I think we're going here. Alright. Gut instinct. Matte blue. Here we go. Oh, unavailable. Okay. Tough sauce. Matte sapphire blue. Is that or this really dark one? Let's say we go for the matte sapphire blue, huh? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna get a ton of filament tomorrow. Alright, let me pull this off screen. Place an order. Come back over here. Place this order real quick, and then we'll start getting into modeling. Proceed to checkout. Oh, who was I talking to the other day? We were talking about this idea that there's this difference in generations where, like, if you're part of a younger generation, you're totally fine with making larger purchases on your phone. And it comes down to, like, what is a larger purchase, right? Is that like $50, $100, $1,000? But it was this thing that, like, millennials are like averse to making larger purchases on their phone, so they have to go to a laptop. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to buy this flat. I can't book that on my phone. I have to buy it on a laptop or on, like, a computer. And I'm just looking at this. I'm like, oh, is this one where I was like, could I have just bought this on my phone? I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Change up the payment method. Is anyone else, like, holding on to their Amazon gift card balance? I'm like, no, don't use it for this. I just want to keep the gift card balance. Right. Okay. So we'll get all of them tomorrow. Let me see. Green is tomorrow. That light blue is tomorrow. Pink is tomorrow. And sapphire blue is tomorrow. Okay, sweet. I'll come in tomorrow. There we go. Super cool. I don't know if we're gonna get this model ready by tomorrow, but at least we'll be able to kick this off as soon as we are done. Okay, order placed. Cool beans, 4 colors. Here we go. All right, back to this. Now, let's take a look at this. So, let's come up with a game plan. So I've already got the shell for that light bright lamp that I talked about. And so I already have all the dimensions for that. I need to turn a light on. My calipers are solar powered. They're not battery powered, so I have to have a light on for them to work. But let's write out a quick game plan, yeah? So we can make the base. And the base... Ooh. So the base will be based after, obviously. base will look like the body. So do something like that. It's going to be a little abstract, right? Y'all are going to have to excuse me on Figma. This is not my tool of choice, but it's a really useful tool. So then we'll have a base that covers the base of the lamp. And that might be a good thing to point out, that we're going to be using a stock Amazon lamp deal. All right, y'all, it's probably going to look a little cringe, but I'm stealing this lamp from over here from the thumbnail. All right, so this is the lamp we're using. Get on Amazon, and then we're just going to build around it, right? So this fill, we're going to steal from here, right? And that will go over this lamp section, right? So that'll go over that. Put this to the back. Order. Where's order? There. So this will basically cover the base. Yeah? Actually, probably need to be a little bit bigger, a little bit skinnier. Something along those lines, right? Great. Then we'll have our little... So I don't have an AMS system for my printer. Eventually we'll get one. But in the interim, we're just gonna make these little puzzle pieces. So we'll cut out these sections on here, right? And then we'll basically press fit them in. That. Another one. Let's look at some of these shapes. Got some triangles, got some soft triangles, got some tiny triangles. That could be kind of cute, right? Like a little tiny triangle there. Like Bob Ross. Just a little triangle there. It's a nice little triangle. All right. I'm actually getting stoked about this little, never really drawn out what I think the model's gonna look like beforehand. I might come up with some, like, you know, the idea of like pseudocode, like pseudo modeling, where you like write out the steps, which is kind of what we're gonna do here, but I've never really drawn it out like we're doing right now. It's kind of fun. All right, let's make some nice little triangles here. Can I? I don't think it's gonna let me do that actually. Oh, there we go. Dang it. I think I have to do that. Won't let me. Yeah, we can do that first. Yeah, I don't really like the look of that. I mean, it is kind of what the one on its forehead looks like, but it'll look better when we model it. Save it to the page. I don't actually remember how I saved it to the page, but it's all good. Put one down here. There we go. So look a little something like that, yeah. And then, so we'll model the base, and that'll press fit over this deal, over this perimeter right here, and then it'll have a hole in the middle for it to slide over this section. And if I remember correctly, this section screws in. So these are two separate pieces. So this will probably need to go all the way up to here, and then we'll have the leaves set in about right there. So that'll be the next piece to model. these little leaf deals. So I guess, actually that could be helpful. I'll do a top view. So this is gonna have a hole in the center there. I totally lost my chat. Where did that go? Hold up. Oh, there it is. Cool. All right. Oh, it's also super cool. You don't see that on my screen. Nice. Then we'll just pull that back down here. Oh, now it popped up. Terrible. I feel like that's like a total streamer noob deal. Okay. So, it's going to have this hole in the center, right? And then match that. Great. All right. So here's your top down kind of look, and then we're just gonna copy these honestly because it's easy. It's fast. Oh no, but I need to bring him to the front. Dang. Yeah. There we go. For consistency. Oh, it's gonna move both of them. Terrible. To group them. Okay. Let me group, and then we can do that. Yeah. Let's look a little something like that. Yeah. Nice. Oh, it thinks all of those are the same vector. Bummer. Let's change that up then. Now they're different vectors. Cool. Alright. Right. I don't know all the shortcuts. I should probably learn them at some point. Go. Nice. Alright. You can kind of see how it's taken shape. So let's make some leaves. So these leaf deals. How will I do these? I could do a sweep, loft, depends on how complicated we want them to be. There's 2 points of curvature. Okay. Anyways, they're gonna look a little something like this, right? Oh gosh, this is a terrible leaf, isn't it? Oh, this is really bad. Oh, yeah, it's really bad. Shucks. Yeah, that was rough. Okay. Right. Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah, that's no bueno, is it? Okay. Alright. So, leaf piece will be the next deal. We look a little something like that. So that piece will slide over the top. And then finally, the bulb needs to cover the bulb. And this one's going to be tricky with these different lines. Alright, while I think about that, tea time. What are y'all drinking out there? Y'all got some late night tea go-to? See these yogi teas. They're super good. Let's see what the deal says tonight. May you create peaceful harmony as your life's purpose. May you create peaceful harmony as your life's purpose. Like that. Yeah, still pretty hot. The benefit of the cover. Okay. We're gonna toss that in the chat real quick. May you create peaceful harmony as your life's purpose. I'd also be curious to know, like, are y'all getting those ASMR vibes from me talking and narrating and explaining what's going on, or you're like, no, just let the lo-fi music play and just let your hands do the talking. Just go to work. We'll just watch the screen. You gotta let me know. Here we go. So in this piece, I think these colors are gonna look pretty good. Wait, these aren't the 3D printing colors. These are the colors pulled from the image. Yeah. That's what we should do, is go get the 3D printing colors and then recreate this image. Yeah. Then we'll really see what that looks like. So this is what the lamp idea is gonna be, right? Let's actually make this bulb a little bigger, so it actually covers the full bulb, and then we should add this vector a little bit. So there is the idea for your Ivysaur lamp. Ta-da! Let's go take a stab at it in modeling. But first, oh no. First, I want to get these colors. Let's see. Y'all are gonna get the All right. So here are the 4 colors. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's grab this image. Can I grab this image? That's what I gotta do to grab the image. All right. So here's our blue. Here's our green. Pink. And our dark blue. So it's gonna be up there. Why is that one so smaller than all the other ones? There. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Let's do a quick pull. And then see how those compare. should have done before I bought them. Ooh. Ugh. You know how she does that? Ugh. Little Gravity Falls reference for you. It's not the worst. Famous last words. Why won't you let me select that? There. Alright, let's change these. Oh, that might be the worst one. Those blue pieces. Yeah, they might very well may be. They're definitely more green. Shucks. It's okay. It's okay. Alright. There we go. So, proposed colors from the image we used. Final colors from the 3D printing filament that we were able to get in matte. And let's open Fusion, shall we? I'm gonna close Figma. Actually, should I close Figma? Yeah, I'll close Figma. It's usually pretty consuming as far as computational power. Wonder how this camera's doing on battery life. Might be able to get the better camera up. Hoping. It charges so slow, and then its power, its battery, holds so little. It's unfortunate. Hold up. Let me whip something up real quick for you. I might like this. I might like it. All right, Fusion is still loading. Should be up here in a minute. I'm gonna whip up a different scene for you, so you don't just have to look at my Google browser. Hopefully this will be a little nicer. I want a little overlay. And I'll go to Scarlett, and I'll go to YouTube. Some sound. All right, so if I transition that over, hopefully y'all can hear the audio. Then you don't have to look at my transition screens. Anyways, back to the transition screens. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to reference the light bright lampshade. All right. Put this back while it's loading. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Bit. It's a little community for you. Cool, cool, cool. Never talked about goals for the evening. Do there need to be goals? No, it's a lo-fi chill stream. We just get where we get. You just go until you're tired. You have a time limit. All Alrighty then, let's take a look. So, this was a previous project. This was the light bright lamp shade. It was already dimensioned to work with, oh, I closed Figma. That specific lamp, right? So it had the sheet metal base, and then it had another sheet metal piece, which is what fit into this cavity. And if I remember correctly, they like screwed together. You know what? It's right behind me. I can show you. Give me a sec. I didn't realize it'd be so nerve-wracking to go get that while on camera. All right, so I don't want to blind y'all, but maybe I should plug it in so you can see how it worked. It's already on. So much light. Okay, so this was the light bright lamp. It's going to be totally overexposed. But you can see this is a sheet metal base down here. This part is a 3D printed shaft right there that went around a metal piece that's inside of there. And then that's screwed on to the base there. So as long as we maintain the dimensions of what's going on around here, which this is the part, this outside base is what I'll need to get dimensions off of, so we know how far to bring out the Bulbasaur body. That's the only thing that's not in here. So I'm going to grab a pair of calipers real quick. Wonder if they'll open up enough to that size. We can see how big that base is. All right. So let's take a look, shall we? It's larger than 6 inches, we're gonna run an error. I mean, it's not, but it's the best way to measure this. I don't have enough light. Again, y'all, it's that it's the solar powered calipers. I gotta get a pair of battery operated ones. I tell y'all what. Yep. It is not enough light in here. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna turn the light on. Crazy notion. No? Okay. Here we go. Up we go. Oh, you lose all the This is all the lo-fi mood when you turn the light on. But my calipers work, so it's worth it. All right. Take a quick measure here. Ooh, we're losing some accuracy. Okay, so new plan. We're going to measure the base with just a ruler, and we're going to measure the height of the base. Man, we are really just not getting in enough light. Okay, there, that should be good. So with the foam on the bottom, we're going to compress the foam a little bit. 1.07 with the foam fully extended. 1.12. Leave a little bit more. 1.13. Yeah, 1.13. We'll run that. Okay, so 1.13 for the height of that. And let's go measure the diameter of the base. One 3/4, approximately. All right. Turn off these lights again. All right. So 4 3/4 and 1.13. Let's take a look. All right. All right. There we go. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to call it okay. Let's just measure that out, shall we? We're going to come back here. And that was meant to go down to the bottom. So let's take a look at where our origin planes are. Yeah, let's sketch on this one real quick. So 4 3/4, 1.13. Oh, we're in millimeters. Shucks. Oh, no, I can just type it in. I'm so used to using SolidWorks. I'm still getting used to using Fusion 360. All right. Nice. Okay. 4 3/4 should get a little bit of tolerance. No, it's just shy of 4 3/4. So that should be decent, and we can shell it later. All right. So we can extrude that down, and the height necessary was 1.13 inches. Oh, we did a cut operation. That's what I'm telling you, y'all. I'm gonna join, and then 1.13 inches. This weird thing. It does like you have to do a negative thing. Alright, so boom. That is the size of the base. So we will cut that away from the inside. On the inside. Alright, let's take a look. So if we kept going, that was in that piece. This is what we did before. That then allowed you to slide in that, do that, and then what was that piece? Oh, is that where the cable went through? I'm trying to remember. Shoot, I might need to open the other one. Let's see this real quick. Sorry, that was super loud. I wonder if I can turn that off. Oops. I already have it open. Darn. Okay. There we go. Let's take a look. Oh, it was just a hole. That was where the threads come through underneath. Yeah, okay. So on this one, threads need to come through. We just need to... We should do that later. Okay, yeah. We're gonna delete that. We just have to remember that it was 1.13 deep. Yeah. Okay. 1.13 inches. Okay, let's run. Yep. Yep. Well, let's take a look. We're not going to need any of those holes. So I'm curious what I did with all this shelling going on. Ooh. This extrude is a bummer because it was a linear and a circular pattern. So it's pretty computationally intensive. It's nice. Okay. Don't need any of that. Splits. We'll bleed all those. Oh, on the one hand, I am stoked that my computer is doing alright RAM-wise. I'm a little concerned. I'm like, we're streaming plus YouTube plus Fusion. Alright, I would say as long as the bulb is this wide, we shouldn't have an issue. Let me take a look at the bulb tolerance. See how that goes. Yeah. Alright, so we probably could bring the bulb and delete that. You probably bring that in half an inch. So looks like the thickness of everything on this was about 3 millimeters. All right, so 1.13. Let's think about where we go from here. Thinking about Gravity Falls, it was like, why did the pelican get kicked out of the restaurant? Because he had a very big bill. Alright, so we'll have the body connected up here, and it just needs to wrap over, right? And then this is kind of where the bulb is going to start. So let's turn that into a different body, shall we? And it looks like, are we doing 3 millimeters this entire time? Let's take a look. For thickness is what I'm talking about. So we had it like that, and then I'll move that sketch. What's that? Yet. So this one should tell me how thick we made that. 39 millimeters. And this one, 45, 6 different, 3 millimeter on either side. Okay, so we'd have 3 millimeter wall. That might be a good thing to check. One 1.2 to 2.5. 1.2 millimeters. All right, let's see. I was like, please don't tell me you haven't been able to see me modeling this whole time. Light shade. Yeah, okay. You can see what I see, right? Look in it. Some will pass light up to 3 millimeters in thickness. It might look like minimum wall thickness 1.5. That's just for printing. Thickness 1 millimeter. Let's see. So they wanted to do a millimeter. Okay. Here's what we do. Still keep a 3 millimeter integrity. Turn this down a little bit. There we go. Nice. Good. Oh no. Back to the mini player. Okay. Okay, where were we? 1.13. There we go. Got my live chat back. Q&A. Cool. Is this all making sense so far? Y'all tracking what I'm doing? What is this? Oh no. That needs to go away. Bye-bye. Okay. So, circle we can delete. That needs to stay. That needs to stay. That can go away. That can go away. Oh, we'll keep that. Okay, so their base. And we're gonna do this as a new body. You? No. You? Yes. I'm gonna make that a new body. And then that's what we have to move around. Okay. So I've got this piece. Sit over top of that. That's what we do. Okay, ready? Let's get to it. Like that. What I want to do is this. I don't even know if it's really an arc. Let's spline it. Just in case we want more of an organic look. We have to go higher. Need to end it. There you go. So I do. Let's add another one. Horizontal. Let's make that, no. Let's make it horizontal. This one. Let's make this vertical. There we go. Bring that up to above there. Clears that. That's nice. Ooh. Let's just do that. Yeah, that's the move. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's what we want. Okay. That's not even on there. So let's make that vertical. Yep. That's coincident. Yep. Shoot. It's not even. Actually don't want those to be. Shoot, what did I just do? I want to remove the constraint. Not that. So then that can be coincident with that. Actually going to do this real quick. It doesn't even, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that. I don't actually care. Because I'm going to do that. Okay. And then I'm just going to match the rest. There are, something I learned in my first job is that there are 100 different ways you do a model. This is just one. The center line. Middle. Yeah. Let's run it. I'm going to want to join it with that body, but not that body. So then this is going to slide over the top, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Ready for this, y'all? This is going to be kind of dope. It's so simple. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. Here, watch. So, we're going to make that body. And then we're going to join it, but only with part of it. We don't want to join it with that bottom piece. So we're going to hide that bottom piece. And then we're going to do this. So, nice. So, now that's all one body. Okay. Not bad. So then, what would happen is, we're going to slide this piece over the top of that, and then we'll screw it in. This should work. Yeah. So section, plane. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. So you should probably shell that. To not use so much material. Unless we want it to be more stable. It's still probably going to need support in there anyway. You could probably shell it for a test print. Alright. Let me think if this works. So got the base, the metal piece. Take the metal piece, slide it in to the cavity, and then screw it on through there. Yeah, just carve this rest. Okay, great. All right, this should work. This should work. Yeah, this should work. Okay, save that. Don't do this anymore. Cool. So, that base part is done that we had talked about. I'm almost like, could we pull it off in one night? Is this a one-nighter kind of thing? Like a 2-hour kind of thing? Not sure. Visual style, shake it with these legends on it. I like question is, how far did that metal piece go down? I'm gonna go check. Look at this lamp. You know, we might as well just disassemble. I was gonna buy another one. Well, I should buy another one. Hold on. Where did you go? Like bright deals when they fall out. Terrible. Alright. Let's see here. Okay. So, that metal piece went right up into there. Yeah. So, should probably have that be shorter, and then put the rest over the top. Yeah, okay. So here's where we're at. We had this go up too high. What to do? Let's take a look, see, shall we? Okay, so with our original idea, we're going to need to shorten this down so the leaf can sit over the top. So I might pull Figma back up so we can look at that. Oh, or we could just keep going. Why not? So if I didn't join these, right, it'd look a little something like this. Right? So we need to bring this down for a leaf ring to come over the top of that. How do we want to do that? I think that's how we want to do it. We want it to go around the metal piece. Yes. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. So, it's going to be a little weird what we're about to do, but because that sheath I like what it is, we're going to do something a little different than how do I have this? Just delete that. Oh, yeah, forgot about you. Yep. Good. Okay. So we're going to sketch. Don't want you to be you. Let's do that. Yes. Make that a construction line. Bring that down over here. Yeah. 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 How do I want to do this? That could be cool. Let's mention that. It's 20 millimeters. 25.4 is an inch. 12. Half an inch rings. Half an inch rings feels pretty good. 25. Yeah. Okay. I think so. It's pretty good. A bit smaller the base. It's fine. Okay. So the reason for this, you'll see in a minute. Then essentially what we are doing is I'm gonna make a plane. Yep, so we'll plane there. I'm gonna do a split. Split body. You'll see why here in a minute. Alright, so cool. So we're gonna join this and this, and that becomes the slide over piece 1. And that'll be the body for the base of the Bulbasaur limb. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna split this part into 2 more pieces. One ring will be the leaves, and then the next ring will be the bulb, right? So let's take a look at how that's gonna work. I wonder how that camera's doing. I might check. Yeah, let's check. Okay. Ooh. Uh-oh. We have so much better camera quality if this is working. How much battery life you got, buddy? Come on, buddy. How much you got? Ooh, we're in business. Y'all ready? Switch over. There we go. Swapping. All right. Back? I think we're back. I think we're back with a better camera. I think we are back, buddy. Cool. All right. Cool. So, should be back with a better camera. Right out. So back to where we were. Let's join these. Okay, so we've got that. That's going to slide over the top. And then let's do another split. Where's that plane? Offset. Let's go 25.4 divided by 2. Yep, in the middle. I'll split that. And then we'll create like a little nesting feature. Kind of nice. Wrong one. Split body. Okay. What is happening right now? There. Bruh. Bruh. Yeah. Oh. That could be an interesting thought. Let's go back. Take a look. Okay, we'll load it up. It looks like 4 leaves. 4? 1 forward, 2 left and right, 1 back. Yeah. From what I can tell. Okay, so 4 leaves. We can make them all. Dang. It might be the move. Might be the move. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Get rid of that. Actually, we're gonna hide that body. Nope. Hide this body. Yep. No, we will hide that body. Okay. Front. Shoot, how do I want to do this? So I was thinking we could just revolve a thing and then cut from a top-down view, but then those leaves are just gonna be, they're gonna be pretty basic. You know what? I'll show you. Ready? So, if we do a little something like this, and we just revolved it, right? Let's do a spline. Do a little something like that, right? Like that's your leaf. Okay. So say we wanted to do that, right? And what we would do is a little something like this. And I don't know what that to be. No. No. Blind, buddy. That's what we want. Right. So then, have a little something like this. Yeah? Cool. would revolve it, right? And then I'll show you what it would look like if we did a top-down cut. So if we revolve this, I don't have a center line. Center line. There's my origin. Oh, goodness, buddy. Now, let's try it. Okay. So that should only join, or no, we're gonna do new body, right? So you can see it's got a little vile plume action going on. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Yo, wait. Chat. Should I make a vile plume lamp? I feel like a vile plume lamp would be super cute. And it just like illuminates down below. Alright, write that down. You gotta write that down. Vile plume lamp. Be kinda cute. Alright. You gotta let me know if you want it. Alright. There we go. And then so as we're seeing here, you can kind of see where we're getting to, right? So from a top-down look, let's go back. From a top-down look, let's see if we can find a more top-down look. Not really. It's like these interesting kind of like, what are they? Oh, they're triangles every so often. Okay. Let's do that. And then let's hide this lower body. No. Okay. And that body. Okay. Let's join these. Target. Tool. Join. Top. Section. Like this. Probably should have just mirrored this. Nah, I got a better idea. Alright. So check this out. So, in the way we do this, is we do just a little something like this. Right? Oh, why does that look so weird? Oh. I don't like that. That's why. Hold on. Sorry, I don't like how this went. I want that to be vertical, because otherwise I'm going to get that weird look when I'm trying to cut it. So, let's make this vertical. Cool. Let's go back over here. See, now I've got, much nicer of an edge. Okay, so, let's get to it. I wanted to do something like that, right? How did you do it? Triangles. Hold on, let me look. Triangles. Okay. These little triangle cutouts. Alright, here we go. I don't really like that. Dang. Let me see. let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna spline it first, and then I'll make the triangles. Okay, here we go. I want to be a contender. I don't know where that came from. It's funny. See, they're going to be... they're just not going to be super curved, right? They're not going to also have that inflection. You know what I mean? Okay, let's take a look. I want to be a contender. Not bad. Let's add another one. Let's do this. Doesn't look like a normal construction line to me. There. I don't know why it didn't look like it before. There. Jeez. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oops, sorry. Blowing onto the mic. Nice. Look at that. That's clean. Alright, so then just need to do an arc. Center point. Boom. Bam. Bob's your uncle. Oh my gosh, the beginning of that song, that lo-fi song right there, was like, secret tunnels, two lovers. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, hold on. Huh. I actually don't want that line. Careful. Okay. So, what I actually want is this line. And then we're going to do this. This is going to be cool. Watch this. Yeah. Check it. It's going to be dope. Track with me. Uh-huh. Now I want to do the arc. Center point. Boom. was a Cars reference. Now watch this. There's your leaves. See, now the part that we're not going to have is that cool double leaf feature, right? Where, hold on. There. So what we're not going to have is that cool, like, double leaf. You know how, like, leaves have the two apexes on the leaf. These are kind of flat. So we could make the other version be a little bit more complicated. So you know what? Let's make this simple version, and then we can make a more complicated version later. How about that? Okay. So where are we at? Let's show all the rest. Yep. 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 So what's it like right now? It's like more like a flower petal. A lot bigger than the body, aren't they? Yeah. Huh. Should we make them extend out further? Probably. Right? Well, for practicality purposes, we probably don't want them sticking out way too far. Because then, it's kind of hard to have this lamp fit in any reasonable amount of space. But let's make it a little bigger. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I gotta stop blowing at the mic, my bad. Side that way. Side to the side. Side to the side. Yeah, we're gonna come up with some good stuff on these. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring these out a bit more. Okay. Some pretty tough triangles, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, these aren't great. Let's see how they look. They're not awesome, I'll tell you that much. Could be a lot more dimensioned, consistent. But will do. Quick prototype. Alright, y'all. Curious how much more we can get knocked out in the next 10 minutes or so. What do you think? Yeah. Not bad. Yeah? No, don't want that. Not bad at all. Okay. Ooh, no. I probably should save this. I was thinking about that one. I think it's about to fail. Alright. Well, that's how we're coming along. What do you say we toss some colors on here? See how this thing's looking, shall we? Oh! I love Substitute. So cute. Come on, buddy. Oh, you let me do an appearance thing. Oh, you freeze. Tough sauce. No? Oh, you're just way over there. Alright. Nope. No pink. No pink. Yeah, this is tough. There's not a great color selection here. How to do that? Oh, good question. Hmm. All right. Well, not entirely sure, but put some placeholders. Alright, so I just copied a face. Reason for that, I'll show you. It's going to be the following. Here's your puzzle piece. One example. So then you got an idea of how those body features will turn out. Okay. It is officially midnight. I feel like this is a pretty decent start. We can make the leaves have that double apex if we want. We can add more of these body feature puzzle pieces. Next time we're gonna make the bulb. Make sure it's got enough space inside for the lamp. The lamp. Let's take a quick look at a section analysis. That'll slide over the top. That'll slide over the top. Huh. It's pretty decently. And then we'll work on that bulb next time. And then one thing I wanted to do actually for the bulb was this. Hold on. I'll do that and then we'll wrap it up. Sketch here. I wanted to give it more security over the leaf. Under the leaf, I should say. Okay, so I've got this nice little registration feature. That should be pretty clean. Hold on, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so check this out. So then the bulb piece above will just slot into that nicely. Let's make it red real quick for the sake of appearance. Ooh, no. Dang it. I want to make the whole body red. Ooh, no. Dang it. What is that body? Oh, it's 7. Remove. Hooray. Good. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got into. Cool. So from here, you can see we've got our base of the lamp. This will be the base of the Bulbasaur body that goes over the base of the lamp. This metal piece is going to slide down and then attach to the base of the lamp. And these parts will all slide over that. So we're going to have the leaf part, and then from here we'll build out the bulb. But then we also know that it's got some more registration there. We might mess with that later, depending on how we like the look of it. But we're supposed to do this later, but I just kind of want to see how it looks. Fillets usually go at the end. Not 20. It's looking pretty decent. Oh gosh, that's why. like that. Pretty chill. Pretty chill. Alright. That's where we're at tonight. It's the beginning of your Ivysaur land. We'll save that. Come along. All right. Well, thanks, y'all. First stream in the books. Let me know what y'all think of this. Leave comments. I think I'm gonna keep doing this because yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. So y'all gonna have to start thinking about what you want to do after this Ivysaur land. If there's other ideas. Alright. Well, have a great rest of your night. Have a good day tomorrow. See you next time.